Right, let's have a look at the plectrum. This is the kind of plectrum I'm using. It's a fairly hefty one. I suggest the use of something like this, nothing too small. To start with, they sound better when they're slightly bigger, slightly fatter, nothing too thin. Also, you're less likely to drop it, basically. You can get a good grip between your thumb and your first finger, preferably. So really, for some of the best bass sounds, I think, with a plectrum, there's a slight amount of muting that goes on the bridge of the bass, really, which is where I'm resting my actual palm just short of the bridge here. It makes for quite a nice sound. As I take my hand off, it gets more ringy. So if you're in the verses of songs and it needs to be kind of a damped chug, this is the kind of approach I tend to take. So I'm using my palm as a kind of mute on this. Also, it's worth doing this rather than always the downstroke, which makes a good sound. We use a downstroke and an upstroke. Now that's a little bit more tricky. You might want to try that maybe with the drum machine and just getting something constant and working. Makes a really great sound though, so it's really well worth having a bash at this. So remember, just an upstroke and a downstroke. If you want to see a person who uses this extremely well or hear some music, check out the Thin Lizzy albums. Phil Lynott, bass player, just tended to use a plectrum, got an amazing sound with it. It tends to use a lot of this up and down stroke stuff as well, so really worth checking him out. Other real techniques with plectrum, I mean, it does sound nice if you're playing some, you know, if you're spelling out some chords. It's got there's a lot of scope for dynamic with the plectrum, and it's very much a kind of a rock approach, obviously, but really experiment with this and get this technique working for you, because you will be asked to use it when you go into the studio. There'll be certain tracks that really just do lend themselves to plectrums, and you'll find someone will hand you one and go, try this, and if you're not very good with it, yeah, it's going to show. So drum machine, up and down strokes, vary the tempo, and just get that together. Sounds simple, but you'll find it quite tricky.